What's going on, guys? What's going on? I see you guys. Everyone's in the chat, man. It's been a minute. I'm hoping everyone can hear me fine. I don't expect this to be long. Doing a little bit of solo stuff. You know, I'm hoping I got someone that's popping through here. They ain't here yet, but I'm hoping they'll be here. I'm hoping. So we got a little bit. Yeah, Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's. Everyone in the chat, Happy New Year's. We got some stuff to talk about today. I saw people already in the chat talking about it. Look, all your answers will be heard. Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. It's been one hell of a year. It's been one hell of a year. And good and bad. You know, I don't think it's been a bad year. It's definitely been an interesting year. I think that's the better word for it, an interesting year. You know, this is just pretty much like a talking to you guys, you know, a little bit of a we're just gonna chat it up, man. We're gonna chat it up. There's a lot of stuff that has been going on over the break that I'm very interested in, and I want to talk about it. Now I see people in the chat bringing up the. It's been pretty good, man. It's been pretty good. You know, I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of entertainment on the New Year's because I know it's been dry out there. I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of entertainment. You know, we can socialize. We can exchange notes. You know, what you guys been playing? I played an absurd amount of Tactics Ogre. Like, an absurd amount of Tactics Ogre. Hold up. Oh. Like, a ridiculous amount of Tactics Ogre. And when I say ridiculous, I mean ridiculous. What's up going on, guys? What's going on? Gotham Knights. You know, I'm not saying Gotham Knights isn't that game. It's just not that game for me. It's not that game for me, man. It's not that game for me. This year, can't wait for Street Fighter, Tekken, Elden Ring, and Cyberpunk. Keep trying that new expansion stuff, Vampire Survivor. And Happy New Year's, chat. Happy New Year's. Stellar Blade, that's out. I didn't know it was out. Back for Blood, it's a good game. You know, this technically ain't really an Addict show. You know, I feel like I should call these something different. It's like like a host show or a talk show. You know, you guys got me until my food gets here. I don't know how long that will be, but you have me until my food gets here. Probably got me maybe 40 minutes. Because my brother takes forever to do anything. He'll take forever to go get my food. Forever, ever, and ever. Look what I found, though, guys. I found, like, one of these things. It's the, like the Genchi things. Yeah, I found one of those. Put him on the grill? Nah. Also picked up that Deep Rock. I used to try that game. I did try that game out once. I heard Starfield June. I'm thinking more July, chat. I'm thinking more July. You know, we'll get to that here in a second. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but for some reason I'm thinking July. That's what I'm thinking. Could be wrong. I'm not the holder of information. I don't know everything. I do know a little bit of stuff that I'm not gonna talk about because there's certain things that you can easily talk about and not really bother anyone or get anyone in trouble, and then there's certain things that you really should keep close to your chest. I do have a. Have you used an Elite controller core? You mean this? Yeah, Microsoft sent me that. That's the first accessory that Microsoft has sent ILP. That's the first accessory that Microsoft has ever sent us. And I do think they're solid controllers, but they need to be restructured to be more durable. I like it, but I do, like I said, like I feel like it needs to be better made because I'm not having like serious issues, but I can tell that I will start having issues with this controller in probably 6 months to a year. But the good thing is like the majority of the controller is replaceable. So, that's always a good thing. But I like the feel of it. I like the feel of it. How is Chained Echo? I've been playing Chained Echoes for a minute now. Hold up. Hold up, guys. Oh my god, why does people have to do work when I'm streaming? They won't do nothing this whole time, but the moment I start streaming, everyone got to do everything known to man. Man, this light is baller. Maybe I need to turn this light down a little bit. Just a little bit. Do you guys hear that sound? Hellblade in September. I'd be surprised. I don't think it's like not doable. I think it's possible, but not likely. What's up, Jacob? Well, they went up that way now. They're not necessarily near me anymore, but remind me of that. But they are being a little ridiculous. They're being a little ridiculous. All right, so let's get on with the show, man. Let's get on with the show. We got 48 people, 55 people in here, man. Hit that like button. Let's get that as high as we possibly can. It's going to be a solo show. We're going to go through these topics and get up out of here. I offered some people to come through, but it's a holiday, man. I got to give people that off season, man. Got to give people that off season. They'll be back. Next week, we back in full run. And I might try to bring someone else on the show too, but we'll see. So there's things that we can talk about. I feel like first thing let's talk about is... Oh my God. Hold up. My brother's calling me. Hello? Yes, Yummy Japan. And would you kill me if I asked you to stop and get me a Baja Blast? I will send you $15. All right, bye-bye. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's talk about. Well, I don't even know when the show started. We about 8 minutes in. The show started literally when immediately. I didn't do the starting soon screen. Did that like right off the bat. So we got 9 minutes, and we'll say. Yeah, 9 minutes is fine. Let's talk about 2022 and 2023. Any good guests coming to IOP this year? When is Phil coming to the show? Ooh. Phil coming to the show. I will say that we are attempting to get that in the books. I'm not going to really go into detail on when we're attempting, but it is something that we're really going to push this year. But I don't know if it's going to happen because, man's busy. He's busy. I don't know if it's going to happen. But we will do the best we can for the realm. The best we can. Y'all need to get Jim Ryan on the show. That would be legendary. Once if we get Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer at the same time. Obviously that would never happen. But what I would like to do is I would like to have a lead developer, like Ryan McCaffrey, or someone that's like a lead developer. Shout out to, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna call you Bane, all right? Because I ain't butchering your name, man. But welcome to the realm, man. Welcome to Silver. Yeah, just an Addict stream. People might show up, I'm not easy to, what's what I'm looking for? I'm not easy to predict. People might show up in here. So a show that I would love to do, and tell me, chat, if this is going to be a good show, is imagine having someone from Digital Foundry on, someone from like a lead developer, and someone like Ryan McCaffrey, like a huge influence, like a huge journalist and like an influencer. And the whole show would be to like the direction that the information goes, from the developer making it to the journalists that cover it to the influencers that cover it from the journalists' info. Because a lot of the things feed down from the journalists. Like, they get a lot of firsts. And I would like to do something like that. That would be a hard stream to, like, set up, though. Wouldn't be easy. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I think that would be a nice little interview. I think people would like that. I really do. I think people would like that. But what? Answer some of the questions I see you guys got. I have been playing Chained Echoes. Now, I'm not gonna go too into big detail because I do want to review the game. But so far, so good. That's all. That's what I will say. So far, so good. Yeah. Unfortunately, we did get 2 people on from Obsidian. One of them went to Activision, so that's interesting. One of them went to. Yeah, but see, Lydia Master, I probably butchered your name. My bad. That's the reason we bring these people into these perspectives, to get their opinion on stuff that we don't exactly agree on. Now, I did want to stream High on Life, but King really was pushing against it because it's got a lot of variables that he didn't feel comfortable being on the IOP stream, like the IOP channel, which, I, for one, don't really necessarily care about stuff like that, but from my brand logistics, I can understand where they're coming from, if that makes sense to you guys. All right, so Echo Chamber, good. Echo Chain, good. I think, so far so good. I'm not too far into it, maybe 5-10 hours, if that. And it's been an interesting thing. I think some of you will like, especially if you like that 16-bit. And now, it doesn't have voice acting, and you guys know how I am. If you've seen any of my reviews, you know that I'm very against not having voice acting. But I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to developers, like small-time developers, because I know that's not something that's easy or cheap to do. So as long as you have a reason not to be doing voice acting, then I'm 100% with it. This is a small team, and I do understand why some people, why they couldn't afford voice acting. Part of me is just like, just let the developers do it, man. Like, I feel like there's such a huge pool of people that want to get into the voice acting scene that would probably do voice acting on small indie games for a little bit of nothing just to get their name out there. I don't know how the voice acting thing goes. Here's the plans that I have for IOP. All right, because we do want to expand in certain areas, and one of the biggest things that I personally want to do is I want to get more voice actors on. I want to get more of a of a role going into that. I want to interview more people in the aspect of what's going on in the industry, and voice acting is one of the fields that I want to go into. But the question is like, can we effectively put them on the ILP podcast? Part of me feels like no. I think the best thing to do with some of these smaller, interviews is to just go, because the problem is when they come on ILP, there's a lot of like red tape when it comes to stuff like that. You know, when we have certain topics, certain people feel uncomfortable doing that. So I feel like just a base interview is better than having them come on a podcast, if that makes sense to you guys. Because if I'm asking for a certain developer or a certain voice actor come on and they see, okay, but you guys are talking about, topics, they might feel a little bit more inclined not to come on because they don't want to be in a scenario with those topics. Now, you guys know that we don't force our guests to stay on. They're free to leave after the intros, but some people don't know that. They think they have to leave when the show's over. So, I want to do a little bit more on that. I want to do more voice acting interview. Well, I want to get into the voice acting interviews. I want to interview more developers. I want to do a lot more in 2023. Chained Echo, I would like to get the people that reviewed that on the channel, that made that on the channel. I think that is something that I'm really going to strive for this year. Who did the voices? Yeah, I'm very curious. I think we need to, I'm going to really push using this platform to explain to people how the industry works. And I think we can do a better job on that. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, we do a lot of talking about how Microsoft's doing with the Activision deal or how this person's doing with that deal. But I feel like there's not a lot of talking on how the actual industry works. And I feel like we can do better. We need to educate our viewers on not just the stuff that's going on out in the open, but stuff that's going on in the industry as well. And I want to use our platform for better stuff than that. I really do. I feel like we definitely have the opportunity, and that's why I want them to not be part of the podcast. They're going to be on the channel, but they're not going to be a part of the podcast. I'm very big on that because I want to have an interviewing scene. Now, you've seen me interview a couple people last year. I did lose 2 of them because my hard drive corrupted. But what I want to do this year is I want to do more of that. I want to get more people on here. I want to talk about, just the struggles in the industry, not just as a developer. I want to have more real conversations. I want to talk to more people that actually are in the developing tool of the industry itself. I love talking to influencers. I love talking to journalists, but I want to talk more about the people that's actually making it. And I think that's important. So let's talk about 2022 and 2023. All right. So that a little bit, how would you guys feel 2022 went? Do you guys think it was a good year for games? Like, let's be honest here. Do you guys think that 2022 was a good year in games? I think it was an okay year, but I don't think it was like an amazing year or anything. And maybe it's because there wasn't that killer game besides Elden Ring that was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is what we play games for. But I think it was good. I think it was a fantastic year. It just, I don't think it was like, yo, whoa. I don't think it was that. I think 2023 is going to be special. And I think a lot of these games have been already pushed back where I don't see them being pushed back again. I think for the majority of the time, these games are coming out in 2023. And I think that's good. I think that we need more release dates on some of these, obviously. But I'm going to be interested, man. I really feel like we got something going, guys. Chat, realm, we had a good thing going last year. We had a fantastic milestones, and we kind of took it easy the last couple months because we feel like we had to get back to our roots because we're having too many guests on, and I think some of you in the chat can agree that we do better when it's just us and we have people cameo in, because I feel like the energy's more in there. We have more fun because we're talking about the topics that us personally brought into there. So that we're still gonna have guests going into 2023, but we're gonna try to keep it more of us and then sprinkle the guest in. And plus, you guys know how we are. We always try to highlight influencers, smaller influencers that need more of that shine. So we're obviously going to do that too. We're going to make sure that we give a platform to people that have really worked hard and they need a little bit more of exposure, and we're going to do better on that too. For Xbox, they can't have another year like this, especially at the end of the year and how they went totally silent. Yeah, I agree. I feel like the gaming industry was good this year, but Xbox was lacking. They need to do better next year. I personally didn't even feel like Game Pass was the greatest this year. That's just me. That is just me. Ishro Bain said maybe 2 guests a show a month and 2 IOP only shows. I think I got some guests that I personally want on. Put in the chat guests that you guys would want on. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinion on that. Put in the chat some guests that you would personally like to see on IOP, so I could get with COG and we could try to reach out to some of these people, because we've gotten to the point where it's hard to get a hold of some of these people now. We've gotten bigger because of the traffic that you guys give us. You guys give us some form of numbers so we can take those numbers to other people to get them on. I get that, Varg. Like, we definitely don't need guests. I understand that, but I like the guests, man. I do. I like the guests. I like to get perspectives of other people in the industry. That's the biggest thing I like doing. I like getting perspectives of other influencers, other journalists, just other people in general in the industry. I like that. Yo, Life Supremacy, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Jigga J. John Wismer, I probably butchered it. Dylan B. Darkside 1923. I'm not sure what everyone else was doing on Xbox. I never said solid year. MVG. No, we're not getting MVG. Having some guests gives you clout. It's not necessarily about the clout. It is nice to have bigger guests on to give us exposure to newer communities, but we don't need that. We care more about giving you guys a good show. And there's been opportunities we could have had massive guests on that we decided not to pursue because it wasn't a good fit for us. And we care more about making sure it's a good fit for us than we care about Then we care about having numbers. We want to make sure you guys enjoy the show. And, we could definitely get Luke on. James Arnold Taylor. Let me copy that, Jacob. I wonder if, there's an agent I can reach using this info. I don't know. All right. We want Sari Bond. We promise to behave. We've tried, man. We've reached out before. Just timing doesn't go along with this. When it comes to people like that, it's hard to get the timing right, and we will continue trying. But we definitely are looking to get some of that. Bring on some hot tub streamers. No, thank you. Matt Booty. You know, I I don't know. Part of me, Matt Booty, like I don't want. Here's the thing. Matt Booty's a cool guy, but I don't want someone that's going to come on the podcast and just PR spin us all day. And I feel like Matt Booty is like king of PR. You know, we get it. Game Pass is doing good. We get this, and maybe we just need to wait more for actual info to come out. But we just got to wait for that. You know, we got to wait for more info so they can actually talk about stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing that I need to be more patient with is waiting for more info to come out, because what's the point in getting someone like Phil Spencer on or something and they can't really talk about anything? They just PR spin over and over again. And I think that is one of the biggest things that, you know, we want to have a good show for you guys. And if we bring someone on that they just say we can't talk about that, you know, or PR speak, I don't think that's a good show. You know, obviously we would still celebrate these people if they came on. But I think Aaron Greenberg will be a good guest because he's got charisma. He's got a lot of energy. So I think he would be a good guest. But he's marketing and you know, nothing against marketing or anything like that, but it's just like such gray areas, if you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't want to get someone on that's just going to push this product either. And I feel like Aaron Greenberg is a cool dude, but, you know, he's marketing. It's his job. Can we get God Howard on the show? That would be epic. That would be cool. I guess we could reach out to Microsoft and see if we can set negotiations to try to get Todd Howard around Starfield. So I'm not saying that's something that's out of the ordinary. We might be able to make that happen. I don't know. You guys know how it is with this stuff, man. Ed Boon from NetherRealm. I think Cog and them would like that. It's just getting a hold of these people. You know, you guys, we got 144 people in here. Hit that like button. You know, you guys give us the numbers we need to go to these people, but if you can't get a hold of them, it's hard. A lot of these people don't check their DMs, and some of them have open DMs, but they still don't check them, or they just leave us on red and they don't care. You know, a lot of different issues in the industry, man. A lot of different issues. So that's pretty much all we're going to talk about when it comes to, you know, 2022, 2023. I think we got a lot of good stuff coming, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy the show that we're going to put on. You know, we always do what we can. Let's put 28 minutes, and then we're gonna get to this Xbox event. That's what we're gonna talk about. This Xbox event. All right, so chat. Put in the comment section. Give me dates and months when you think this Xbox event's gonna be. Tell me dates and months. Put it in the chat. Tell me a date and a month, and I'm gonna come back here, and I'm gonna see who was right. February. I need a date with that, man. 26th of January. March. Oh, I hope it's not March. That'd be horrible. February 14th. Oh, that's a bold statement. January the 26th. February the 14th. February. Jigga J, we need that date with the February the 3rd. January the 20th. February the 6th. Oh, 2 6s. January the 31st. January the 30th. Not till spring added. Do you think they'll announce the family plan Game Pass at the event? I don't know. I think they might save that for when they raise the prices on Game Pass. If that happens this year, then it's possible. February the 21st, February the 4th. I'm gonna lean towards February. I think early February is when we'll probably see this. Now I don't know what to degree this event's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be like an XO or like a mini E3, but I do think that we'll see it at the beginning of the year. It was January, they would have just done it at the Game Awards. Yeah, totally agree, Aaron. See, here's the thing though, Aaron. I think the reason that the Video Game Awards is a little like iffy on how things would have been with the Video Game Awards is if there was more than could have been on that stage, I can understand why it's not at that stage. So I can understand that. Because if they had like 30 minutes of things they needed to show, and they only had like 5-minute window in the video at the VGAs, then why show anything there when they could just hold it and show it at their own event, since they need one anyway? January the 16th, after court hearing on the 3rd of January. It's going to be interesting, man. All right. I'm going to say, let me bring up a calendar real quick. When you guys say they normally do these on like, they would, I think, what day of the week do you think they would do it on? Like a Friday, a Thursday? Because Sony usually has theirs on Thursdays. They're like little things. When was an Inside? Let's look at the last Inside Xbox. Because we haven't really had anything like that in a while. Now, I don't know if it's going to be an Inside Xbox, but let's look at the Gamescom Inside Xbox. It was August the 25th, 2022. So it was a Thursday. Yeah, you guys are right. Thursday. I think Inside Xbox could work if it was done correctly. But it's just a matter of doing it correctly. It's Inside Xbox format can work. It's just, can they do it correctly? Can they, you need information. You need the actual games to show. You need the personalities to present the information. And I feel like sometimes they lose touch on how to present these shows. Monday, because they want a week of people talking about it. I think they'll announce it on a Monday, but it won't come out till like that Thursday. So if we go by that, let's go to February. All right, so we got February the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. February 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd. Which one do you guys think it is? I'm going to say the 9th. February 9th is when we'll see the event. Yeah, I think 9th is a good day. Good day. Good day. I'm going to go back and look at these guys. And, you know, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna make like a compilation video and everything. Post it on ILP. Find out who was right. You know, put that in the comment section, man. Put that in the comment section. You know, let's move on though, man. We don't need to really stick on these topics too much. You know, 33 minutes, and we talking about Sony blocking Xbox. Yeah, everyone. You know, shout out to Hulk. Hopefully, you know, he feels better. You know, horrible scare, man. He needs to take it easy when he gets back, man. Relax. That's what he needs to do. He definitely needs to relax. Sony blocking Xbox. I told you guys. I said multiple times that Microsoft, that something was going on with Square Enix in particular, preventing them from bringing those games over. Something was going on. And Microsoft came out in this thing pretty much agreeing that that's what's happening. I'm streaming.
By the way, the Baja Blast is terrible.
What?
I don't know. I don't think it's right.
Who's all watching? Just 156 people. And sorry about that, guys. My brother says something's wrong with the Baja Blast.
It seems like not enough syrup in it.
It's a little weak, but it's fine. Sony wants Xbox dead. I don't. Here's the thing. Sony's doing what Sony has to do. I don't blame them. What I don't like is how they play victim about doing it. That's what I don't like. It's like if you're not going to if you're not going to do what you have to do, don't blame people, man. I'll get to that later. Like, don't sit there and blame people for something that you're doing wrong. Oh, that's good, man. I'll have to move along, man. We'll have to move along so I can eat. Who timed you out, Jacob? Someone time you out? Okay, Albert G. Can someone explain to me how a trillion-dollar company, Microsoft, can outbid Sony for third-party games being timed exclusive? Sometimes it's not about money. It's about the relationships that they have, and it's about motives in the end that doesn't align. For instance, if Square Enix wants to eventually be bought by Sony, making these kind of deals would benefit them the most. And I think that's what you're seeing here. Is you're seeing clear alternative motives that has an agenda, but we don't see the agenda because we don't have all the news. So I think that's what you're seeing here. But anyway, it is what it is when it comes to this. I personally feel like Sony, they should stop getting, like, trying to have people feel bad for them. You lose Call of Duty, that's on you at this point. You could have had it for a guaranteed 10 years, but instead you went on this giant violin. And I don't think it's right. Maybe Square wants to be a more popular brand in PlayStation. That's all. I don't agree with that, because then why release anything on Xbox at that point? Can you answer that, Albert? If that's the point and they want to be more popular with the Xbox brand, the PlayStation brand, why release anything on Xbox? It makes no sense. That's just my honest opinion. It makes zero sense to do that. Yeah, I agree. 100%. I've made videos on my personal channel multiple times, Vampire. That's what they need to do. They need to make their own personal studios to combat what's going on there. How's Square going to grow Final Fantasy by making it exclusive? It's about money. Money and motives for what they might want in the future for their company. That's appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. You guys have a good thing too. Microsoft needs to go out and they need to build their own studios. 100%. And if they don't do that, go and buy companies like, Sega, build them up. There's a lot of things they can do. They need to do them, though. And I think that they do want to. It's just this Activision deal has so much money. Think about it this way, guys. They can lose how much it would cost to buy Sega, almost, by this deal not going through. Like, put that into perspective. They can lose how much it would cost to buy a company like Sega, or close to that amount, by this deal not going through. And I think that's the biggest reason that they're being very careful on what they announce, how they present information. And I think that's the key reason, because there's a lot of money riding on this. Yeah, I agree. And I think we'll start seeing them take that more seriously. Like there's a lot of smaller indie developers like Mistwalker. I really love if they would, work with Mistwalker, write them a check and get like another Lost Odyssey made or another IP in general. Like it would be really nice. Yeah, when does that come out? It comes out sometime this month. Capcom, I think, I obviously Microsoft could buy Capcom, but would Capcom sell? I don't know. I don't know if they would sell, man. I think they would sell to Sony. Here's the thing. Microsoft needs companies that they can build up. And that's why I feel like if they do go for a publisher, it's going to be Sega. I think Sega would be the easiest one for them to get. And I think getting something like Persona 6. Imagine if they come up on stage this E3 and they announce Persona 6 and it's an exclusive on Xbox and PC and it's in Game Pass. It'd be big. It would be huge. People would lose their mind. They need more opportunities like that. And I think that they're going to eventually look, but, we just have to get to it, man. What's up, hip hop? Yo, Happy New Year's. Just had to show you some real quick love, Addict. Let's go. I need to get you on the Addict show one time, hip hop. What's going on with that, man? Why are you being so elusive? Hit me, slide in my DMs, hip hop. They open, slide in them. I don't play baseball or anything. I used to when I was a kid, but slide home, man. Slide home. Slide straight into the DMs. Let's get something going. Give Square to them. Imagine Twitter. Imagine what would happen if Microsoft bought Square Enix. It would be the craziest day on Twitter. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even remotely fathom that day on Twitter if Microsoft bought Square Enix. You would hear me scream from the top of my lungs because I want it to happen. I ain't gonna even front you guys, man. I want them to come out and just start swinging. That's why part of me is concerned with consolidation, but then the other part of me seeing PlayStation go out there and timed exclusive everything under the sun. So at that point, they're consolidating the industry, just not the developers. They're just getting all the games. Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. I love it though. I love it, man. I love it. I truly want the industry to do better, and I feel like Sony, they're going to have to do something. Microsoft's going to have to work with people like Mistwalker, work with people like, not just Mistwalker. They're going to have to work with a few people. They're going to have to get their own Japanese branch. And I had like a nice little thought process because I feel like in order for them to succeed in that area, they're going to have someone that's got clout in that area. And as much as I don't like his games, Hideo Kojima is got that clout. So to me, a good thing they can do is they can go to Kojima and be like, look, we want to buy Kojima, your company. But what we want the most is we want you to run a publishing unit, be like the Peter Moore of the publishing thing. And they're like, we want to bring on Japanese developers, developing studios onto this publishing arm, and we want you to run it. If they bought Sega, he could be in charge of that whole thing. He could be the dude from Bethesda, like the Matt Booty, Pete Hines, like he could be that person in the East that is bringing that talent to them. Because I do think, you know, he's got a lot of influence. He wants to be independent, but I think his ego is huge. And if you offered him something like that, I think he'd take it. Just think about it. He would be one of the most important people in the East for Xbox. Like, he would be the big fish in the small sea. Man, you know I can't. That's fine. See, we've established that I can't do that. And it's okay. Because I deem it okay. And what I deem okay is facts. It's law at that point. All right, so let's move on. Ain't really a whole lot to talk about with that, man. You know, there's a lot of things going on. We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. So 46 minutes. We're gonna talk about this for a few minutes, man. Redfall and Starfield internally being delayed. Now, Starfield's not really been internally delayed. It's more about Redfall. But if Redfall comes out in May, like it's been rumored, then you could expect that means Starfield isn't going to come out till after E3 because May, June. Well, they going to have it out in June? I mean, I guess that's a possibility. But you got Zelda coming around that area. You know, I'm sure PlayStation got stuff they haven't announced coming out in that area. You got third-party stuff coming out in that area. It's a weird thing. And what I want to ask you guys, I want to ask the chat, the realm, if Starfield came out in July, would you guys have an issue with it? I know that's technically past the 12 months that they offered, but I feel like it's not too far off of that 12 months. I think it would be fine if it came out early July. That's just me. I think it would be fine. All right, so let me just clarify. Is yes means you have a problem and no means you don't have a problem? Is that what you guys are saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. July. Just July. Nothing past July. I agree with you guys that we can't get too out of control. July is the latest it can go. It can't go anything more than July. And I feel like there's some conditions to the July release date. One, they got to have a good showing of this game when it gets the release date. When it gets that gameplay trailer, it's got to have a good showing. It can't just come out there and show the gameplay that we've already seen and go from there. It's got to have a good showing. It's got to be impressive looking. It's got to clearly look like it's improved performance, because I know some people felt like the performance wasn't good. It's got to have good presentation to whatever is shown. 2, it cannot, under no circumstances, be in E3 to some big form. I would prefer it not even be there. But if they want to show it at E3, maybe open the floor with it, and it's really fast, and they show the release date for July, which I think that's too late. It's a month of marketing. Probably not going to happen in June. But if they wanted to show a little bit of Starfield at E3, that's fine. But it cannot be what the whole event is rotated around. I would prefer it not be there. But if it has to be there, they need to open up with it, get it done quick, and move on. I don't want them staying on something that they've talked about for 2 other years besides this year. So this would be the 3rd year. I don't want that. You know, we need to see other stuff at that event We don't need to see too much Starfield. What do you guys think? You know, those are my conditions. I feel like July isn't bad. I feel like July. Now, I would prefer early July, but any time in July, I think would be okay. I would prefer early July, but anything past July is an issue because you're coming up like what, 14 months? You know, maybe this particular incident where it needed a little bit more time, I would be a little bit more lenient with it. But part of me is just like, look, like you guys can't come out there, put your stick in the dirt and say no thing after 12 months, and then you miss it by 3 months. I don't agree with that. You know, they need to do better on that. And if they're going to come out there and they're going to say 12 months, I want to see it in 12 months. Now, I feel like a month isn't a bad thing as long as the game's good. Now, Starfield was coming out in July, and it did very well, like Metacritic-wise, and it was just a fantastic game in general. I feel like we would be okay with that. You know, I feel like as long as the product is there and the product is solid, people would not complain about that. But chat, Realm, how bad's it going to be if this game comes out in July or it comes out anytime before June and it's buggy, it doesn't work great, there's certain mechanics that don't make sense, looks like it's been rushed, it's going to be bad. That's why I'm hoping Starfield got all its T's crossed and all its I's dotted. They really need this game to hit home. Needs to be hit out of the park. I need this game to do good. And not just strictly on that. I want the game to do good. I think Starfield is a prime example to show what Bethesda can do. It's just they need to come out there and actually show it. There's nothing around it. You know, people have every right to be skeptical of Microsoft and Xbox. It just depends on what's going to actually happen with the brand itself. That's the number one key thing. It's going to depend on that. The first 6 months of the year are jam-packed. I can understand July, Zelda, and Redfall in May, and Diablo in June. Too much to compete with, plus Diablo will be there. Can't hurt its sales. I feel you on that. That's why I feel like there's a lot of variables going into this. Maybe it's not even that the game isn't done by June. They just got to delay it. Just internally delayed it. Now, let's talk a little bit about Hellblade supposedly coming out in 2023. Holiday of 2023. I think someone said September in the chat. I think that's too soon. I think we're probably looking at like late October, early November. I think that would be the more realistic date. Trying to figure out what I could say. I guess I'll just say it. Like I believe it. I think there's a good chance Hellblade hits November. I mean, not November, but you guys get what I'm saying. Hellblade might actually hit that mark and come out that day. And I think there's a good chance it does. And what my question to you guys is, you Realm, is now we don't know when Forza comes out. I would say Forza is like late February, early March, maybe late March. Then you got Redfall being a May game. You know, I don't know what's going on with that Minecraft game. Then you got Starfield coming out probably July-ish. And then you have the Minecraft Legends game coming out somewhere in then. And then you have Hellblade coming out the end of the year. And then 4 months after Hellblade, Avowed drops. Like March of 2024, Avowed drops. And then 3 or 4 months after that, you get something else dropping, like maybe a Fable or something. I don't think it's going to be a Fable, but you guys get what I'm saying. There's plenty of games in development to see game at that release date. Do you think 2023 is a W? That's my question to you guys. If they released that new Minecraft game, they released Forza, they released Starfield and Redfall this year, would that make a good 2023 year? So that's 5 relatively good games, which I don't know the quality of these games, but it's 5 big IPs. You got stuff they're going to do with Game Pass, obviously. You know, all Game Pass is going to be a pillar that they stand on all year. They always do it. So Game Pass is definitely going to be there. You got the Wulong stuff, so that's going to be good for them. So that's what I'm curious about, you guys. Like, you know, I personally feel like that's a solid year. Solid year. Because I think Starfield in July, Hellblade, and we'll say the end of October, beginning of November, Redfall in May, Forza in March, and Minecraft maybe in June, something like that. I think that's a good year. I think that's a good year. PlayStation got some kickers on. You know, they got the Spider-Man franchise. So I'm kind of curious how that's gonna go. You know, definitely they got Spider-Man 2 coming out. They got Final Fantasy 16. They got a lot going on too. It just depends on exactly what hits, because all these games could come out. If they all rate 60s, bad luck. But if they rate good, I think it could be a force to be reckoned with. Now, I'm going to end this with this. This is what we're going to do, because I'm about to end the show here, probably in the next 15 minutes. We're going to do a Metacritic, because you guys know I don't take Metacritic seriously, but I think it's a good gauging conversation. All right, we're going to go through these games, and I want you guys to put in the comment section where you think they're going to, like, we'll get, like, you guys know I do 3 points on what you think's going to happen. All right, so let's start with Forza. Where you guys think Forza is going to go in 3 points? Like 87 to what? Like, what is the range that you guys think that Forza is going to have on Metacritic this year? 95. That someone said a 70. You're so messy. Lindia Master, 87 to 90. I would say maybe even 88 to 91. That's what I would say. Or, you know, 91 to 93 is a pretty good estimation too. I could see that. But I think it's a low 90, late 80 game. I think it can easily get that. All right, let's move on. This Minecraft Legends game. Where you guys think that's going to go? I'm going to say mid 80s, like 85 to 88. That's where I'm going to say it leads. 85 to 88 for Minecraft. Oh, you guys hitting low? Minecraft is a big franchise. It is a big franchise. Someone, hold up. Let me move my food so I can look and find out what did Minecraft Dungeons get on Metacritic. Minecraft Dungeons. I got you guys in 1 second, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, man. You guys know no idea how much the super chats be helping right now. All right, so let me look. Oh, 70. You guys might be on to something. I don't know. 72. I don't know. If I remember, I thought I got a better score than this. Yeah, you guys might be on to something. All right, maybe I need to cool my jets on the Minecraft talk. All right. Got a $5 super chat from Dollar Otaku. If everything hits this year, including all Game Pass deals, Ark 2, Stalker 2, etc., it will be better than any game any year that the PS5 had this year by a mile. I agree. I think it's going to be a good year. Bane with the $10 super chat. Thanks for the show, Addict. Starting the new year off right here in the realm. And then we have a $10 super chat from Long Live the Black Mamba. According to Jeff Grubb earlier this year, Microsoft planned to release 9 games in 2023 before Redfall, Starfield, and Forza, Stalker, and a few other games before delay. I think people are too worried. I agree. There's a lot of aspects that's going on here that people... There is a huge thing where people look for bad things. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not. All right, so where are we? Okay, Minecraft, okay, Redfall. 3 point, where's Redfall going? I think Redfall is going to be an 86 to 89 type of game. Redfall. Oh, what's up, Cat Daddy? I have high expectations for gaming in 2023. Oh, you guys are hitting me with the lows. Well, some of you are. I don't think... If Redfall gets a 90, I would be happy. Because I think Arcane is such a studio that is slept on. I think they deserve it, but that's just me. Cat Daddy, we got to play some Fortnite, man. We got to play some Fortnite. When are you free? I'm so far behind on shooting some fools in Fortnite. I need help. 9 Lives, 80 to 83. I wouldn't be surprised if it got anything in the 80s, to be honest with you. I think anything in the 80s would be okay for Redfall. But I'm thinking mid-80s. That's what I'm thinking, mid-80s. Actually, it's an Xbox exclusive, so Arcane will get their first 70. Because you know how the media work be. There will be a Halo. I don't think the Halo Battle Royale game comes out this year. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think it comes out this year. Has Arcane ever made a multiplayer title? Deathloop was technically had some multiplayer aspects to it, but I don't think they've made a full-blown one yet. And I'm always busy for the next 2 days, but we'll link up. All right, man. All right. You got my number. Just call me whenever you good. Because currently I'm unemployed. Looking, but I'm unemployed. So I got time, man. I got time. And playing games kind of helps me get all out of my mind. All right, so I think you guys are on point with that. I think Redfall is definitely going to get in that range. Mid 80s, I think that's fair. I think mid 80s. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping the thing gets a 90 plus. It'd be crazy. Chad, what happens if all these games got 90 pluses? What happens if Redfall got a 91? Forza got a 91 or 90? And Starfield got like a 95? What happens if that happens? That's not going to happen. You guys are ridiculous. You are ridiculous. Can't we give someone a little bit of we got to assume man, let's give people the benefit of the doubt. They could come in there and they can really do a number. Like, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Sony fans would go crazy. The gaming media never lets that happen. All right. Chat. Realm. What is Starfield gonna score? I'm saying an 88 to 91. That's my personal opinion. 88 to 91. 88 to 91. 88 to 91. 95 to 100. You really aiming for the stars, aren't you? Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, Cat Daddy. if I think even if it comes out a little buggy, it cannot come out 76 style buggish. It's got to come out and run functionally well. Even if it's a little buggy, as long as the game's good, people will ignore that. I know that sounds bad, but that's just how it is. What I want's a 95. I expect an 85. I really like Deathloop. I beat Deathloop, and I actually reviewed Deathloop. It's on the channel. You know, that's back before I was really breaking games down to the extent that I break them down now. But yeah, there's a review on on this channel for Deathloop. I did review it. I will be reviewing these other games too. So it'll be around for 10 years after the mob gets. They ignore Horizon bugs, but will do the same for Xbox games. I feel you. I do understand where you're coming from there. I don't think that the media. I do think. I don't know that. You got a point there. There was a lot of issues that game had, and I talked to people that was reviewing it, and they said they have no idea how people didn't do that. Did you see Smooth's video? Which one? He made a couple, Mark. Which one? I made the thumbnails for those videos, in case you guys didn't know that. I made the thumbnails for those videos. Xbox, even Ragnarok. Ragnarok was not a 9 game. I'm sorry. It was a high 8s, 87, 88. The fact that it scored so high is beyond me. If we are talking about, I think the biggest thing will be frame rates. Yeah, it better be 60. There better be performance mode, or I will go play it somewhere else. I'm not going to lie. I will go play it on PC if there's not a performance mode on Xbox Series X. If it's not a solid third-person game, it'll get a lower score. Addict, Hellblade 2. All right. We'll do it. We'll do it just because you brought it up, 9 Lives. Realm. Where's Hellblade getting? I'm saying 90 to a 93. 90 to a 93 is what Hellblade's going to get. Shout out to $2 super chat from TXR1138. Redfall and Starfield on Game Pass, meta or not? Yeah, but, you know, if I didn't have food to eat, I would bring up my issue with that statement, because I got a big issue with that statement. But I don't got time to really talk about it right now. Yeah. You know, I don't ever like to completely juice up King, but he's not entirely wrong. That does feel like a big ass DLC. I think Hellblade's gonna score well. I do. I think that they have made that game to be visually impressive. Let's just hope that they can improve on some of the aspects that the first one didn't have. To this day, I haven't been Hellblade. It's really hard for me to play that game because of the mental aspect that they have on that game. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That audio, man, it's creepy. It's the creepiest game I've ever played when it comes to how they do audio. I mentally can't play it. It bothers me. What did Corey say? You said facts. Sony games get the benefit of the doubt. Industry is afraid to score. I never trust. You can't finish Hellblade 1, but the reason I can't finish Hellblade 1 is just more of me issues. It's not the game. It's me. When she starts talking and whispering in your ears and shit, that bothers me, man. It just goes down my spine. Just thinking about it bothers me. I'd like to see Ninja Theory do a sequel to Odyssey of the West to the West. Ninja Theory is a very unique studio that can do a lot more than people think. pretty sure 2 won't be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be about the same. It feels like that's the biggest thing that they play off of is just, her mind and the mental issues she has. I don't agree with that entirely, Don Otaku. I feel like 2018 was justified for its. I think it was a 94, 95. But I don't think Ragnarok was the same quality as 18. I think 18 was a better game in almost every aspect. And I do feel like there is some truth behind some people are too scared to rate PlayStation certain things because we've seen PlayStation kind of get a little bit trigger friendly with not sending people review codes because they didn't review it. They didn't do it as good on the last ones. Play it through TV speakers. A headset will have you sleep with the lights on. Yo, I see. Maybe I need to do that. But here's the thing, Cat Daddy. I feel like I'm selling out if I play that through the speakers, because the game wasn't designed to play through the speakers. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm never gonna agree to how they run that. I feel like the industry should go, we give you a review code and you review the game and we get the feedback to make another one. But I feel like it's not ran like that. I feel like people use PR firms and companies use that aspect because what they want to do is they want to use certain creators that they know that. Okay. I will say that I feel like sometimes people are censored and they don't get review codes because they know that they are wild cards. And I think that is a huge issue in the industry. I'm not going to say it's a big issue. And I'm not going to say it happens all the time. And I'm not going to say every publishing unit or every developer does it. But I do feel like the aspect that goes on is bad when it comes to that. Because what I see is I see big content creators that are normally very vocal about how they tell stuff. I see them not getting review codes and stuff, but I see people that are very positive in everything they say in the industry, and nothing's ever wrong, and they're always getting review codes. So there's got to be a reason that's happening. And at the end of the day, it's not the PR firm's fault. They're going to go with whatever the industry lets them. It's just interesting how things go. And I feel like being an influencer, especially that reviews games, it's a rough thing because at any time, a review that you're not filling, that you put a review out for, and you go in on a game, can cause you to lose aspects of your company to review games for that studio from there going on out. So it goes to get. I don't know if. Well, here's the thing though. Do I think Sony sometimes punishes people for saying certain things? Yes. But what I will say is I don't think that their games are too far off of the reviews they got. God of War Ragnarok is one of the few in a while that I felt like it got too high. I think both Horizons scored what they were supposed to. I think 2018 scored what it was supposed to. I do think Last of Us Part 2 should have been a couple points down, but I can understand why someone would vote it there. Being a 90 to a 95 in the industry should be so much harder to get than it is. I feel like seeing a game review as a 10 out of 10 should be a rarity, but it seems like all these games are always getting 10 out of 10s. Can you search your interest with a love letter live on stream? Man, I'm trying to eat, Don Otaku. What do you want me to stream? Gran Turismo 7 love letter. Are we talking about a video, Don Otaku, or are we talking about like an article? Because I'm gonna be real with you, Don Otaku. I'm not reading. I'm eating. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm eating. Last of Part 2 deserved its score. That's one I'll give him. Last of Part 2's no, just the search results. Sure. I guess, Don Otaku. Why not? So, why not? All right. So this is what Don Otaku felt like we needed to see. Gran Turismo love letter. Gran Turismo 7 is a love letter to call culture. I mean, is that wrong though? I know they had a lot of microtransactions that messed up a lot of aspects to the game, but is it wrong? You know, just because the microtransactions really bothered people, I don't think that means that it's not a love letter to the car culture. But I don't do nothing with cars, so I wouldn't know either. A love letter to Gran Turismo. Oh, geez. Are you saying everything's a love letter? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I feel you. They're all saying the same thing. That's kind of crazy. Wow. You might be on to something there, Donataka. You might be on to something there. Sure, they're not duplicates. No, they're all different websites. I really like the old Need for Speed Most Wanted. The one that was on the 360. You guys know the one that you had to fight your way up the blacklist thing? The blacklist list? I really enjoyed that game where the dude took your I'm not a car dude. I don't know what vehicle he took from him, but he took that blue and white car at the beginning and he used it to fight his way up, and you got out of jail and he was number 1. Dude was 15 at the beginning of the game, stole your ride and used it to get number 1. A BMW M3, I think. I can't remember what it was. But that's the best Need for Speed I've ever played by far. And I remember they remade it, and it was trash. It was nothing like the original one. Man, I think that's on Xbox. Racing for Slips. Oh, I loved that, man. I remember there was a Porsche Need for Speed Most Wanted. I would race because you had to like pick the tickets, and one of them is the blacklist, the pink slips. And I remember racing him multiple times until I got his pink slips. That was good, man. That was good. I really enjoyed that. But I'm gonna go ahead and head out here, man. I appreciate everyone coming through. I'll have this up on the SoundCloud, on Spotify, and that in a couple, probably in a day. I ain't gonna front you guys. It'll be a little bit, but I appreciate everyone coming through, man. You guys have a good day. You know, Tuesday we'll be back. Hopefully, I don't know. I haven't talked to King. Most likely, maybe Tuesday we'll be back with R&R. I won't be doing Addict Show because this is the Addict Show for this week. I'm not doing 2. And the next Sunday, we're coming back on ILP. And, you know, we're going to talk about a lot of the info that's been dropping throughout the break, the 2-week break we had. But, you know, we've been doing this for about an hour and 20 minutes. My food's been cold. It's sitting here cold. Look what you guys did to me. But I appreciate everyone coming through. And until next time,